Ma'am, what are you doing out? Is this where you belong? Absolutely not, huh? Absolutely not. What you doing? Come on. Look at, and all your friends are telling on you. They're pissed. Oh, oh. Oh. In. Bad girl. That's a bad goat. It's giving chaos, but I wouldn't trade it for anything in the world. Have you ever answered a Teams call while a goat is screaming because they got their heads stuck in a fence? Because let's get ready for Easter while I talk to you about how it is having a miniature hobby farm / homestead and what it's like working from home full-time while I take care of all that and still be productive, not get fired from my job, and not forget to feed anyone. I work full-time as a buyer for a contractor with the Department of Defense, and it is a great job. I love my job. I have chickens, goats, and cats and dogs, and I live out in the country, and with that comes its own set of craziness. So I will tell you what I do in order to stay sane and get stuff done. In order to make having a hobby farm work, you've got to implement some kind of structure or else things can go to hell in a handbasket fast. I am actually really excited to do my makeup today because I got these Real Technique dupes from TikTok Shop, and I am super excited to see if they work the same. So let us see. So this is them. See, they look exactly like the Real Technique ones. They're super cute. None of them look really dense like a foundation brush. I will try this one. So I usually take the Maybelline 30 Hour foundation and I mix it in with the Lumi Glow to give my skin a little bit of a glow and a little bit of some color. Because I am often staring at a computer, I don't always get out to get some sun other than when I am feeding the animals. The first thing that I do before I ever log onto my computer is I will spend some time getting myself ready. And that doesn't always mean like a full beat. I'm not like doing every bit of my makeup before 8 a.m. But every time I wake up, I do take care of myself a little bit. I do the usual. I brush my teeth, I brush my hair, I put my hair up so it's out of my face, it looks brushed. And then I also do my skincare because sometimes it can be the only time of the day that I put a little bit of something into me and I'm pouring a lot out. So I wanna make sure that my cup is typically at least halfway full, right? Mornings like this can be a little bit of a speed race before 8 a.m. If I sleep in a little bit, it kind of messes up my day. So I typically try to get up at 6:30. My husband does the morning shift for the kids because he works a part-time job also where he is usually gone in the evenings. And so he does the mornings and I do the evenings so that we are a little bit balanced. This brush put my foundation on like really well. It's giving super dewy, and that is because of this dupe that I found for the Glow Recipe watermelon dewdrops. This is the Emco Beauty. They had a 4 for $44 sale where I got everything for $4.44. So of course I got this. They brought this back. It's been sold out for months. So the Hydrate and Glow Dew Serum, it smells the exact same as the Glow Recipe. It feels the same, and as you can see, I have the dew going on. It looks really, really good. Go and check on my baby chicks, because I have cats and they make it like their life mission to scare the chicks. They have gotten literally inside of the tent with the chicks and they have never hurt them. But for some reason, they love to pounce on them. They love to see them run around. And so that is the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning is I go and make sure that my baby chicks are alive. So after I have spent some time on myself, getting my skincare done, and also feeding the most needy animals, which are the baby chicks as well as my dogs, that is when I focus on me again, and I will make myself a little bit of a breakfast. I make myself a ginormous 40-ounce drink full of electrolytes and take my vitamins and take all of my medicines so that I make sure that I can perform my best at my job. I'm not getting sleepy, I'm not getting tired. I'm on a GLP-1 and I find that I get myself really, really drained if I don't keep up on my vitamins. So that's something that I try and make sure that I do every day is put the things into me that I need in order to give myself back to my family, to my home, and to my business. Working from home means that you have to structure your time really, really well. Even if you don't have animals to take care of, I'm sure a lot of people learned from 2020 that working from home wasn't as easy as we all thought it was gonna be. You can get distracted easily. You can be called by other things in the house like chores, laundry, and you can find that your time will drift away from you really, really fast. Thing that I do that my boss who actually helped me figure this out was time blocking. I make sure that I work on my priority items, like my first hour of my day at work. And then I try not to let my hobby farm life interfere with me at all for those first 4 hours of work. So obviously things happen and animals get out. There was one day the other day where I answered the phone and I said, hold on, a cow is running down my road. Let me go make sure it's okay. And she said, I didn't know you got cows. And I didn't get cows, but yet there was a cow running down my road. So country life at its finest. There are so many apps out there, plus like, you know, the ones that come with your computer, like Microsoft 365, all kinds of things that can help you time block. You can put one on your phone if you need it. There are really good ones out there. I can link one that I also use, which is Notion. That really, really helps me figure things out. Like I said, if I let my schedule go just a little bit, there are times where I will have to answer my Teams call at 8 a.m. with a shirt on and muck boots on still because I didn't have time to do everything that I needed to do. Okay, so far these brushes are doing the darn thing and my makeup is blended and it looks really, really good. So I'm gonna link these because I have a feeling if you're watching one of my videos, you like to save money and these look the exact same and they work the exact same, so get you some. So going back to what I was saying about blocking out my time, like from 8 to noon, I also turn off my phone on the, I put it on Do Not Disturb so that I don't get caught up in like group texts or texts from people that I just don't need to worry about. Even if I get texts sometimes from like a store, you know, like how they send out their little links or ads, I can find myself getting distracted, like starting to shop and like, oh shoot, like I was supposed to send this out already. So I have my phone on Do Not Disturb from like 8 a.m. till 1 p.m. so that I don't get caught up in those kinds of things. I also get a million spam calls a day, which is super annoying, so that kind of helps with that also. Another thing that I do is I will make my lunchtime a time for myself to go out and what you got? Does it?
This one looks like a head.
Those are some awesome rocks.
And Taylor ate my hair.
Taylor, eat your hair?
Yeah. And the black one was trying, and it was pulling my hair.
Oh, those goats.
Why do they always eat my hair?
I don't know, baby. They're crazy. Back to what I was saying is I take my lunchtime to do a lot of my hobby farm stuff so that my evening is not completely full with it. So as soon as noon hits, I lock it up. I will go and that is when I let my chickens out. Another Emco Beauty. This is the pressed powder that is a Charlotte Tilbury dupe. I have never bought the Charlotte Tilbury because I am not going to spend no $30 to $40 on a pressed powder. But many an influencer have said that this is better than that. So I highly recommend this at full price. It's like $9.99. When I got it, it was the $4. So, okay, so back to my lunch. That is when I'm gonna go and let my chickens out for the first time of the day. That is typically when they have laid almost all of their eggs. So I will then collect eggs. I will make sure that they have at least water. If they're out of food, when I'm letting them out, they get to go free range and they can go get all the bugs that they want. So I'm not super worried about their food just yet, but I will make sure that they have water to get to so that in case it's like hot or something, they can get up there when they need to. I have a rooster who is like really, really good about getting his girls back where they need to be if there's any kind of like danger going on. So that makes me feel a lot better about free ranging. If you're new to chickens and you're not able to like be out there, like how I'm gonna go back onto the computer once my lunch is over, I would be leery about letting them out to free range. But since I have that rooster, I do feel a little bit better about it, and that's why I let them do that. Most people, when they take a lunch break, they are gonna go sit on their phone, maybe in their car or the lunchroom, and they're gonna be scrolling TikTok or YouTube, anything like that. That is not what I am doing. I am making sure that the creatures that feed me get fed. I am done taking care of the chickens. That is when I also give the dogs another potty break and get them some exercise. I will watch them run around for a little bit. Like I said, they have to go out in shifts because they're naughty. Gives me a little bit of vitamin D for the day. I also get to stretch my legs a little bit. It's a very nice break. I very much prefer this kind of lunch break, going out and checking on my animals, enjoying a little bit of sunshine, as opposed to what I used to do, which was go and sit in my car and hide from people. So it is not lost on me how lucky I am to be able to do what I do. I will say that I worked very hard for it. So it's not something that just like fell into my lap. I worked very strategically to get where I am. And if you ever want to know how I did those types of things, leave a comment and I'm happy to make a video about that, because it was very strategic and it very much cost me a lot to get here. So this is the SheGlam Pickle Rick setting spray. It is my favorite setting spray. I bought it because I just thought it was funny looking. Your makeup will stay on from the moment you get up until the moment you wake up the next day if you let it. It is so good. And it smells like cucumbers. Oh, amazing. Okay, so after I collect eggs and make sure the chickens have water, I will also make sure that the goats have water. Goats are so weird about water. They like demand that they have it even though you never see them near it. They're very, very weird creatures. On a good day, something like that will typically take me about 20 minutes to do, and I try not to take more than like half an hour for my lunch. So I will go and make myself a bass, is what I call it, a big ass salad. And it's just full of like yummy good stuff. Like I said, I'm on a GLP-1 and so I'm not super hungry until then. But I usually make myself a big salad. I refill my big old 40-ounce drink. Then I get back to it and I pretend I am not at a hobby farm. I'm at a job and I am getting what I need to do done. I do think I have found a really good system that helps me stay focused, stay on track while also keeping things running here. Another thing that helps me, which may be controversial to anyone watching, is that I make my whole family get involved in this. My husband was actually the one who wanted the chickens. I was very much like, I don't know what I'm doing with chickens. So I did a ton of research and I got my system down pat. And not to say I don't make mistakes, I have lost many a chicken, sadly. But I have chores for my 15-year-old and then I have chores for my 6-year-old, and we all just kind of contribute to our life, to our family. The goats get fed when my 15-year-old gets home from school, unless of course we need to switch things out. He gets a couple days off a week from that. And then my daughter, if my son is not here, it is her job to feed the dogs. So I'll just kind of pitch in where we can. Like I said, my husband works a bunch of different jobs, and so he helps where he can. I usually have a honey-do list waiting for him for his day off, sadly. That's just what we have to do here. That is something that I very much recommend, is like to not try and take these things on by yourself, because you will burn out so fast. Like, it is not enough anymore to just work or to just be a mom. You have to kind of do it all these days. And I am someone who is going to ask for help with those things. So if you are someone who needs help with that kind of stuff, like, you need to get your family involved and you need to ask for help. They can't read your mind, and it's gonna make your life a lot easier if you're being vocal and being straightforward, and that way you're not feeling the burnout so much. You can't constantly pour from your cup if no one's filling yours back up. This is also an amazing dupe. If you have seen that $42 Patrick Ta eyeshadow, I would never in a million years spend that kind of money on that. This is amazing. This is the Flower Beauty Jungle Lights palette. The colors are insane, so gorgeous, like that gold, that shimmer. You can't beat it. I think it's better than the Patrick Ta one, but I'm no expert. But this is like $7. The reason I really get them involved is because I really want them to know that the things that you get don't come free. So while I don't expect my son to grow up and want chickens and have a homestead and things like that, I do expect him to understand that in order for mom and dad to give him the nice things that he wants, those things have to be earned. And I'm very much a proponent of that. I don't think that kids should just get everything they want and never have to work for it. So, and my son is very understanding of that. He will even say, hey mom, if I go do X, Y, and Z, can I buy this? And the answer is typically yes, because I need the help. I don't want to burn out. I need the help, and I'm very happy and willing to replace my time with money 9 times out of 10. Like I was saying, I have been able to turn content creation on TikTok Shop into a little bit of a side business. There are some months where I bring home $3,000. There are some months where I bring home $1,500. There are some where I bring home $6,000, and every little bit helps us. So I will continue to do that as much as I can. And because it helps our family so much, I do treat it like a business, and I do ask for help so that I can get that done. And with that, that is basically me just asking my son, my daughter to do their share on our little homestead. This is the Maybelline new mascara that they sent me. It is the Bubble Mascara. It is a buildable inflated volume. It's supposed to give you sleek separation. So even though my life is super hectic and a lot of people tell me every day, I don't know how you do that, which is not helpful, by the way. I literally would not trade this life for anything because, like I said, I have lived many different lives in my time, and this is by far the best one. I feel like now I am spending the most time with my family that I ever have. I feel like I am the most fulfilled that I have ever been, and I feel like I am contributing the most to society, to my life, to everything that I ever have. So even though the vibes are insanely chaotic, I would not trade them for literally anything else. And while I do enjoy being the breadwinner and how much I work, I love my job, I love how good I am at spreadsheets and analytics and things like that, I do hope that one day I can take, content creation full time. Now is not that time, so I will do what I can in order to make everything work around. Okay, so that is one coat, and that is super gorgeous. That is the difference in my eyes. That one is curled but no mascara. That has the mascara on it. That is so, so pretty. So with all things said and done, trying to have a corporate 9-to-5 job while you're working from home on a hobby farm with kids and lots of animals, life can be chaotic, it can be very hard, and you have to have a structured, disciplined lifestyle in order to get it all done. You also need to ask for help because, like I said, no one person can do it all, and you shouldn't try and make yourself do it all. But if you are someone who is wanting to start, a great place to start is with chickens. Chickens are kind of like cats. They're pretty self-sustainable. You need to water them, feed them, things like that. And if you have somewhere safe for them to be, you can go to your 9-to-5 at a different place and then come home and your chickens will probably still be alive. If you are interested in owning chickens but you don't know where to start, look at my next video and you will see 5 things that you should know before you get chickens. So let me know down in the comments if there's anything that helps you maintain your life where you're trying to do it all. I'm happy to hear any tips that you have for me, and I will see you next time.